Hey, JulesBlessedVegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So yesterday, I pre-introduced that Advent was coming. And Advent is basically the 24 days before Christmas. It's 4 Sundays before Christmas. And it is a preparation time. It's a time to be preparing our heart and our mindset to welcome the baby Jesus, which of course, for those who are Christian, is the Savior of the world. And they have an understanding that it's actually God in human form who came as a very humble little baby, so as not to overwhelm us, right? Anyway, though, for those who aren't Christian, it's just a great time to still be thinking, how can you be a little less commercial? How can you not buy into the whole hallmark of Christmas, but rather the kindness and the beauty of random acts? And so I gave one for today, and if you're just getting here today, you're right on time. But because I was trying to be a day ahead, yesterday I asked that people just take a moment to give a hug or a compliment and to not even reveal the intention of it, because it's really giving a little bit of Christmas to somebody without them even knowing, and then you have the joy in your own heart and a new light in your heart, which can only build and prepare you to be even more receptive to the grace and beauty of Christmas. So that understanding, your random act of kindness for tomorrow, because I was so thrilled that some people said they're on board, is to let someone in front of you in line. Inevitably, you will find yourself in a line. It's a Monday, people are busy. You might be at the store, you might be at the bank, you might be who knows where. And it may make the people behind you a little disgruntled. So this is a risk. But if you see a situation where it's appropriate, take a moment to let someone go ahead of you. I mean, so often if I have far more groceries and someone just has one item, I'll let them go ahead. If I see a mom with her children and they're restless and crazy, I'll let them go ahead. Certainly if there's no one behind me, I will absolutely not hesitate to let the person go ahead. So monitor your situation. You don't want to anger the guy with the Uzi behind you. But if it's appropriate, allow someone to go before you. It might be a situation where it's a phone call and the person answers and asks if they can put you on hold. And normally you would say, no way, I can't be on hold. Maybe you'll just say, yeah, sure, no worries. That could be putting someone ahead of you. Whatever the case is, take a moment to have grace and say, how can I be a little more patient today and ease someone's life? You don't need to tell them about it. It's just the joy in your own heart. But that's the goal for tomorrow. Let someone in front of you in line. And I would love to know how that goes. All right, but my talk for today is about the importance of not isolating. For me personally, if I am in isolation, so I'm not making phone calls, I am not visiting with people, I am not around others, and I'm just isolating, I am up to no good. I am probably up to no good. I am probably either choosing to binge or planning to binge. Like, honestly, if I'm hiding my food, and I'll do it. I mean, I will just be in the kitchen consuming food without the family or my husband knowing that I am putting down an extra 1,000 calories in about 2 seconds. I'm up to no good. And there is like never an uglier version of myself than that. It is amazing how quickly my mindset can turn when I start obsessing about wanting to be alone because I am up to no good. And people notice. They'll just be like, what happened? Did someone die? Forgive me. Did someone die? I mean, because the darkness comes over me like it is no one's business. And I'm like, I'm fine. It's no big deal. Nothing. And I am so not fine. And everybody knows I am so not fine. And it's so sad because just all of a sudden, I just want to be alone because I'm up to no good. And it's such a blessing to be called on ourselves, on our stuff, and not be able to isolate or hide. People get mad about that too. Leave me alone. But in not leaving you alone, you have your greatest chance at redemption. Honestly, I was remembering back. I was living up in Northern California, and I was in a really difficult situation. The living situation was very difficult, and my desire for escape was to go to the movies. And I didn't have a value system on this at the time, where I would readily do what's called movie hopping. And I would watch one movie and hop into another without buying another ticket. For years now, for years, I have readily purchased more than one ticket if I planned on watching more than one movie. But at the time, it was like, whatever. So this is how bad it got. I would literally calculate through the movies that were playing in a large movie house, and I would figure out which movies were back to back, even if it was the movie I wanted to see, as long as the time worked out, because my desire had nothing to do with the movie, though I am a critic and I love movies. The desire was to be in the dark and to be able to binge on insane amounts of food without consequence, seemingly without consequence. Forget that I got up to 300 plus pounds, but no one would be bothering me. So I had this whole system where I literally would wear my hair up, and then I would take my hair down because I looked slightly different if my hair was down. And then I would make sure that I brought a jacket, because part of the time I would have the jacket on, and part of the time I would have the jacket around my waist, so that that looked seemingly like a different person as well. So I would get there at like 10 in the morning and buy a bunch of food. And then, of course, as I suggested, hair up, hair down, lipstick, no lipstick, jacket, no jacket, hoodie, no hoodie, like seriously. And I would watch the first movie from like 10 to noon, and then buy more food. And if the same people were working at the counter still, I might wait, depending on how much food I had, from noon to 2. And then finally at 2, when the shift seemingly changed, I could buy more food and watch another movie from like 2 to 4. So finally I've had 3 movies, tons of binge food, but I'm afraid that my face is becoming obvious, and plus, unfortunately, the movies are going to change. So like the discount is only until 5 o'clock, and I'm already at the 4 o'clock. So check it, I'm not kidding you. Get in my car and drive to a different movie house, and then go to the different movie house, because those are running on a different thing. So instead of on the hour, now they're from 5 to 7, 7 to 9, and 9 to 11. And finally get home by midnight. 6 movies, 12 hours of binging, hiding in the dark, escaping to somebody else's world through those movies. No accountability to anybody. That's how bad, people. That's how bad it can get for me. I am a person who needs to be in the light, because when I'm in the dark, I am up to no good. Can you relate? Not to the insanity of that whole movie thing. And like I said, for the last, 25 years, I've been paying for every movie and double tickets if I need them. And when I'm well, crunching ice for a movie, like that's about it. But in my darkest days, that's what was up. So what is your problem when you choose to be in the dark? Are you up to no good? Like if you like, my friends. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And did you give a hug or a compliment today? I'd love to know. And until we talk again, subscribe. And best of all, know that you're blessed.